Good afternoon and welcome to Valley Views. I'm your host, Glenn Edison. We're certainly glad to have you. And as always, we want to thank BTC Fiber. And you can see our program on BTC Fiber's YouTube page as well as BTC Fiber's cable channel 18. And today we have with us some members from the Bledsoe County Cancer Care Team. We have Miss Dona Loyd, Miss Patsy Angel, and Cindy Hankins. And thank y'all for being with us today. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
And first of all, let's talk a little bit about how people can get involved with your network, local network. How can they get involved?
Call any member, just reach out to us. We'll take any help.
And roughly, do you know how many people you have involved locally?
Maybe about 10 to 12 right now. And we also have a Facebook page that they can, go on our page and message us and kind of get an idea of what we're doing.
So you need some more people too, don't you?
Definitely.
I mean, y'all got a lot of work. And I know, one of the things that people, when it comes to cancer, a lot of people, they say, oh, I'm all right, I'm okay, I'm not sick. And they put things off about going to the doctor, and they shouldn't do that. Because a lot of times just you think you have a symptom or something, and you go through all your processes of, well, it's not this, it's not that, and you think, well, it's just something minor. And then next thing you know, it's full-blown cancer.
I've been battling it for 5 years.
5 years, that long.
Mm-hmm.
And how's your journey been with that?
Well, it's been hard, but a lot of help and a lot of prayer. And mine can't be cured, it can be controlled. So.
Well, that's interesting. Can't be cured. Well, but it can be controlled. Yeah. Well, that's good.
Sometimes.
Well, I know a lot of times, because there's all kinds of cancers out there, all different kinds, and we couldn't list them all because it's just a long list. And some are minor, maybe like skin cancers, little minor things that they can go in and take off. And I've had plenty of those. Like many people have the skin cancers taken off. But then sometimes if you don't watch those skin cancers, a lot of people get outside. They like to go outside and work. And if you don't get covered up, that cancer can really get onto you before you realize it. And a lot of times a little spot you may not pay any attention to. Next thing you know, you're having to have it cut out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess Miss Dona, you've been out a lot outside you do a lot of outside work. So I guess you stay covered up, don't you? When you get outside, you cover up.
Not like I should, but I try.
Well, that's probably like most of us supposed to, and of course I'm bald-headed, so I cover my head up. But I still, it seems like that's where most of my little skin cancers have been, on my head, and I wear hats all the time. So, well, Cindy, you had both of your parents have passed away from cancer.
Yes, I lost both of my parents in 2005. Our dad passed away in March, and our mom passed away in November of the same year, both with cancer.
Wow.
So this, being involved in this team is exciting to me. It's a humbling experience because I know what it's like as a caregiver, my brother and myself helping with our parents and taking them to treatments and that type of stuff. So being a part of the cancer care team is really a blessing to me, and I was humbled to ask to be a part.
Well, does cancer run in your family since both of your parents have had cancer?
Yes, my grandpa on my dad's side had lung cancer, and that's also what my dad passed away from, but there was none on my mother's side.
Well, so you have to keep yourself checked
yes,
as well.
Early detection is the key, yes.
And a lot of times, and I don't know about you, Patsy, but a lot of times you really don't know you have the cancer. It's just there.
I do. The reason I got involved with the team in the first place, we used to have Relay for Life and all this other things around here, and I got involved with it because I had a brother that had cancer, and I wanted to help him. And my husband's mother passed from cancer too, so I was getting involved. And I never thought that I would end up, but when I was diagnosed, doctors determined that probably I had had it for at least 3 to 4 years without knowing it. So, it can sneak up on you and you don't know.
Well, I imagine that happens to a lot of people
It
that,
does.
because you don't feel the pain or anything, it's just there and you don't realize you've got it.
Well, and a lot of times you'll attribute it for getting older.
Yeah.
And of course, cancer has no forgiveness. I mean, it attacks young, old, it doesn't matter. And so with that, now y'all have been involved locally with different activities here in town about fundraising and everything. Tell us a little bit about the fundraising, how that goes, where the money goes after you do the fundraising.
Where the money goes,
Yes.
anyone that is a resident of Bledsoe County can contact any board member or team member and give us the information about someone who is suffering from cancer and taking treatment. And we will present it to the board and vote on it. And then we like to call it a little angel in the mailbox
Yeah.
to help them out. But we don't discriminate.
So all the funds raised go strictly to Bledsoe County
Every
residents?
penny of that. And if there's, like, when we have different things, we don't take money out of that. Most of the team members put it up themselves. Every penny that we raise goes strictly to cancer patients.
Well, a lot of people don't realize in cancer, the treatments they're not just like once a month. They're many times they're daily, weekly, and then you count in all the gas and all the trips and being there and having to eat while you're there, because a lot of these times the visits are not just an hour or two, it's an all day thing a lot of times. So there's a lot of expense involved in just going to the doctor for your treatment.
And we get thank you cards and calls and notes, and people are just so grateful and say, you don't know what it means to me, your help, because they had no idea how they were going to get by.
Occasionally we'll have people cash that check, and then in a month or two they'll send us a 10 or a 20 or something donation back.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently they used what they needed and then donated it back.
Well,
Not
that's-
always, but that happens occasionally. That's, you reached them.
Right, by helping out, because you never know who you touch.
A lot of people pay it forward.
Yes, and that's a good thing, because like you say, you never know. Cancer doesn't knock on your door and say, hey, I'm coming in today.
Yeah.
It just surprises you. Do you have any fundraisers coming up, or y'all going to be involved? I know you have the Oktoberfest Fall Festival, and y'all are going to be involved in any of that, or do you know at this
We
time?
have a trail ride, a horse ride coming up
okay.
in September, and we'll do a breakfast before that, and then the riders will ride throughout the county and back. So
And they raise money by doing the ride? Is
Right.
that how that works?
the breakfast and the ride, they pay to ride plus the breakfast.
Oh, that's neat, that's good. And I bet there'll be a lot of people involved in that.
Don't we have aren't we planning another fundraiser to go along with the cruise-ins or something?
Well, we hope to.
Yeah.
But
We have a meeting tomorrow to discuss that, so. But the ride is Sherry's ride. That is our next big event that's coming up.
You said that was in September?
it's coming in September, yes.
Oh,
And Sherry was the first organizer of Bledsoe County Cancer Care Team.
Oh,
And so the
okay.
ride is named for Sherry
Oh.
Pendergrass.
Well, that's nice. I'm sure that's appreciated. Well, then, well, I've already answered those. As we mentioned, cancer is really a big surprise for anybody. And when people hear the big C, as we call it, a lot of times, their whole world just goes into a fizzy, I guess. If that's a word. I'm not sure if fizzy is a word. But it's a southern slang, I guess. But, that happens because people when they hear the word cancer, you just don't know what to expect.
You expect the worst.
Yes, you do. And excuse me, I can understand that, because before my liver transplant, I had a cancer spot come up on my liver. And so they were concerned about that. And then I had a second one come up, and that's right when they gave me my transplant, because they were concerned about it spreading. And as you said, some cancers, you know, they're treatable, and you know they don't. But then others, you know, they're not. And do you have since you presently are with cancer, Patsy, do you have any words of encouragement to people?
Just pray. And talk everything over with your doctor, no matter how trivial. And, you know, if you think something may be unrelated, but you discuss everything with your doctor and let them make the decision as to whether it's trivial or if it should be ignored. And a lot of times it will be something minor, because the thing about it, you're paranoid. You're very paranoid. But prayer and good friends will get you through.
Well, that's true. Having the friends is a big help, and prayer, I know, helps.
It does.
I know that for a fact. And you know, when you like in your case, Cindy, where your parents passed away, and some of your other family, I mean, I'm sure that's always in the back of your mind.
Always.
And it concerns you, and especially you know, for your family.
Yes, it's very concerning, and I'm try to take all the precautions and do the screenings and stuff that are out there for us, where I didn't do them so much until my family was diagnosed, till my parents were diagnosed with cancer. And I'm like, I've got to pay attention to these things that are offered, and the yearly screenings that are available for male and female to be checked for cancer and for early detection.
Right. I know. Well, like for example, with breast cancer, a lot of people think just women, but men have breast cancer as well. And they need to have it checked too.
We actually helped a gentleman here in the county that was suffering from breast cancer.
Well, because a lot of times I know people with moles, you have to watch the moles because they get dark. And then one of the indicators, you know, to have them checked out. Doesn't always mean you got cancer, but it's something to check out. And you can't, I guess, not be safe enough, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You have to, because like you said, a lot of people don't get all these screenings and things they need to do until all of a sudden it hits home. And then you go, oh, I better wake up.
It's definitely an eye-opening experience when you experience firsthand.
Well, and that's true. And you know, I know when they found my first spot of cancer, I said, well, take it out. And they said, no, we're going to let it grow. I said, let it grow? I thought, okay, you're the doctor. But, and so they let it grow for 3 months, and it grew. And they said, well, it's time for us to take care of that. Yeah, I had the same feelings. And I thought, well, okay. But, as long as you still have me on the list. But you know, but the whole time, you know, while they were waiting that time, those 3 months, I was sitting there thinking, man, what's going to go on?
Longest 3 months of your life.
Yes, it was, because no one likes to hear the word cancer, you know. And now we mentioned some events. Do y'all have I know in Sequatchie County has their Hee Haw event, which I think this year raised over $15,000.
They do great with that.
And do y'all have anything like that up here or something you'd like to start?
We were in the process of trying to do that when COVID hit.
Oh, I see.
And it kind of derailed everything. Has it been 3 years since we had the tour of homes? Has it been that? We had the tour of homes at Christmas about 3 years ago. That
Featured this home.
Yeah, oh, that's neat.
That was a big fundraiser. And we also have a place on our Facebook page. We have a button where you can contribute through PayPal.
Oh, okay.
To make a donation. We're a 501c3, so everything is tax deductible.
Maybe I asked you this earlier, Patsy. When you found out you had cancer, had you had any signs before that time? Or
No. No. I knew that it was taking me long. I couldn't shake colds or flus or something like that. It was taking me longer shake something off. And I just thought, okay, age, you can't do stuff. But I mean, you could have floored me, and I kept thinking, this is a bad dream. I'm gonna wake up and it's all been a mistake. Well, it wasn't a mistake. I mean, at the time when they found it in stage, I was stage 4, and I had been
Really?
stage 4 for 5 years.
Wow.
So, but
Wow.
it's a shock, and it's denial. A lot of it's denial. But it took me probably over a year before I could even say the words, "I have cancer." I could write it and hand you a note, but I could not speak the words. Yeah.
Well, it affects you that way. I mean, a lot of people don't. When they might see you out right now and think, well, she's all
Oh,
right.
you look so good.
Yeah, but not know all the things that's going on inside.
Mhm.
Even mentally inside.
My mother-in-law had cancer. She went to the doctor with my father-in-law, who they had been watching a spot. So he had to go back for a recheck. And he said, "Doctor, listen to Dot. She's got a cough. Sounds like maybe she's got walking pneumonia." She's the one who had cancer, he didn't.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
So
Wow.
you never know. That goes back to the checkups.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think y'all would probably all promote this, is having your annual checkups. And if any time before the annual checkup is due, you feel something's not right, go have it checked out, whether it be trivial or not.
Mhm.
Because it's better safe than sorry.
Absolutely, yes.
Because
It can progress rapidly. Some of it is very fast acting, so,
well, it's nothing like those regular checkups. And a lot of times, I know when I was younger, I didn't always get my annual checkups because I thought, well, I'm young, I'm in good health, but it pays to do that because doctors are trained to look for different things,
Mhm.
and I know Dona and I know a lady at our church that recently, she took her husband to have a cancer spot looked at, and the doctor looked at her nose and said, "Let me check that nose." And she had skin cancer that she's had to have actually two surgeries. And so, you never know. And see, she was taking her husband for the doctor. She wasn't thinking about herself. When the doctor looked at it and said, "Hey, I need to look at this."
doctors are pretty savvy.
And, well, do you have any words, any of you have any words to our audience about what people should do other than to check us, just be on the watch for things?
That's the thing, keep the checkups, and if something doesn't feel right or doesn't seem right, check it out. Don't be afraid to, and don't be ashamed to.
And don't think a lump is just something where you got a bruise.
Yes,
Yeah.
And,
early detection is the cure.
yeah. Well, do you have any other comments anyone of you would like to make for our program today?
I'd just like to remind everyone that cancer doesn't just affect the individual that's diagnosed. It goes out into the family and friends. And there's always someone you can reach out to talk to, because lots of times that's needed.
Uh-huh.
And so don't ever feel like you're alone. There's people that struggle with it quite often. And as Patsy, as a cancer survivor and going through cancer herself, and then me as someone, and Dona also, who have lost loved ones to cancer, there's someone out there that you can reach out to and talk to on different levels of it, because once someone is diagnosed with it, it affects more than just that individual. It streams out into family and friends and your church family. And so there's always someone you can reach out and talk to. Of course, the Lord's the most important, but other than the Lord, there's someone here that we can physically talk to and share our heartaches and our burdens and our concerns with.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because that's a good point for everybody, because
Yes.
No matter what you think or how you feel, you need to reach out, talk to
Yes.
somebody, and a lot of times we probably all have been stubborn, I guess is what I use, where you think, well, I don't want to bother anybody, I can handle this, but
Yeah.
a lot of times, don't worry about whether you can handle it or not. Maybe you think you can, but maybe you can't,
Right.
and so just go ahead and share it so somebody can, because if they don't know, they might put you on their prayer list, as you said.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
help you that way, and
Mhm.
and then just talking. Because a lot of times you might need somebody to talk to. It might not be at 8 o'clock in the morning, it might be later that evening, you need somebody to
Mhm.
talk to. And, you can reach out.
Yes,
So-
absolutely.
So having a network of friends is
Mhm.
important too.
Yes.
A network is important. It's very important. Have somebody you can turn to. And like our team, we're kind of sounding boards for each other and, if something comes up, we have a group chat that we do our notices and messages and whatnot. And word will be around, hey, so-and-so needs prayer.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, I think that is important too, and I know we're not getting religious here, but I think prayer is a very important thing.
and something too, we need to know, every letter that is mailed out with a check in it is prayed on.
Well, that's good. That's a good policy to have.
Mhm.
And I think y'all doing a wonderful job. And folks, again, if you want to be part of this cancer network, they need help and they need volunteers. So contact them, get involved with the local cancer network and help them help the citizens here in Bledsoe County. And without further ado, we thank you. And you can always see our program on BTC Fiber's YouTube page as well as BTC Fiber's cable channel 18. And remember to our sponsors, Ember's Ice Cream, Nickel Row Antiques, and White Wagon Bed and Breakfast. So until next time, have a great day.